Happy 100 years since the discovery of King Tut's tomb. Let's talk about what happened on this famous day and read directly from Howard Carter's Dig Journal. On November 4th, 1922, 4 days into the excavation, Carter writes, "At about 10 a.m., I discovered beneath almost the first hut, the first traces of the entrance of the tomb." Howard Carter actually kept 2 journals throughout this excavation. One we call his journals, and these are in much more detail, and I'm going to be reading passages from them, honestly, until you guys tell me to stop. The second ones we actually call his diaries. So the page on the right is actually the page for November 4th, and all it says is, "First steps of the tomb found." You might also be wondering what huts Howard was referring to. These were remnants of ancient huts where tomb builders and decorators would essentially stay the night in the Valley of the Kings while they were working on a tomb. These were simply shelters made out of stone, and while ancient, they were not as impressive in comparison to the tombs. But these were sitting directly on the entrance of the tomb, which may be why so many people ignored it. Now, I don't exactly want to hate on Howard Carter and his special day, but he is not necessarily the first person who found the steps of the tomb. The first person that probably found the steps of the tomb was a 12-year-old water boy named Hussein Abdel Rasool. Twice a day, he was hired to bring large pottery jars filled with water attached to a donkey up to the excavation site. Because these jars were actually pointed on the bottom and not flat, they had to be placed in sand to essentially stand up. So on November 4th, he brushed away some sand to reveal a flat stone, which looked like a step. He told the other workers his find, and the rest is history. This is an image of Hussein wearing one of the necklaces of Tutankhamun that was removed from the tomb and photographed with him. Many years later, his son took a photo of himself with the photo of his father, and then his grandson also took a photo with that photo. This family is still very proud, and sometimes you can even meet them in Thebes. I will note this story is slightly disputed, but Carter did write about that day, saying, "I arrived at work next morning, then the usual silence due to the stoppage of work, which made me realize that something out of the ordinary had happened, and I was greeted by an announcement that a step in the cut of the rock had been discovered." So it's entirely possible. I will be talking about the excavation team in the next coming weeks, but I also want to elevate the stories of the native Egyptians who helped in the discovery and the excavation, because it's their story too. Have a very happy 100-year anniversary, and don't forget to tune in tonight on my TikTok Live and my Twitch stream to chat about it.